When you think about how you experience technology today, it's like behind this glass screen, and you're kind of stuck. It feels cold. We've unlocked the screen.
Really what we're trying to do is break down the walls between, technology and people.
This is the next generation of computing. This is the next PC.
It's basically a see-through display that you wear, and it lets you see holograms in your world, in your space, all around you.
A hologram is made out of light, which ultimately allowed us to pour digital assets over the real world so that humans can essentially be entertained and be empowered to do things in brand new ways.
The ability to draw with your hand or to take an asset, an image and move it or scale it is a very natural way of interacting with it.
Here's what you can do with holographic video. Here's what you can do with using your world as a game level. Here's what you can do with taking the power of 3D modeling and creation, and guess what? Pulling it out of a screen into real 3D, and then sharing what you've created with others.
That was science fiction, and now we're bringing it into science fact.
When you've got 1,000 different people from all different backgrounds with all different types of experience, you're gonna see that the stuff that we've built at the beginning is just a tiny scratching of the surface of what this technology can do and what it can mean for people.
This is a new medium for artistic expression and a new medium for creation that we've just never had before.
This platform is going to truly blend your digital life with your physical life, and it is so thrilling. This is truly about seeing the world in a whole different way.
It's got a Kinect basically built into the front of it, cameras, motion sensors, the whole deal. It was turning chairs, tables, people, computer screens into wireframe objects.
I just wanted to see how real, were the demos that they were showing us that are really nicely rendered. They have really nice graphics. Ours was a little more raw, but they were showing off the tech. Like, could it actually work in the way that they're showing us? And to me, that answer was yes. I definitely thought that was the coolest part about seeing where they're at, and is this a platform that they can actually build on?
It's still unclear kind of how they want you to use this thing. Like, is this something that's going to need to be near your computer at all times? Is it really going to run Windows at the start menu? Can you just like put it on and and bam, you're good to go?
What is kind of your first raw overall takeaway from how it's progressed?
It's come a long way. One of the first things I noticed, the first things I tried, was the gesture tap, because you raise your hand and then you sort of tap down like that. And on the very first prototype, I remember it being kind of a forced gesture, and I had to keep it like pretty close to my face.
Like in a specific area.
Yeah. And then this time around, I was just kind of like low, closer to my waist and like off to the side, and it was still picking up the gesture. At this point, it feels like the hardware is getting there. It's getting really close to being done. And the issue right now isn't the hardware so much as what are we actually going to do.
Microsoft really threw us a curveball when they unveiled HoloLens, goggles that combine a computer, speakers, and a 3D augmented reality display. But as cool as the demo video was, what are we actually going to use this for? I'm Donald Bell, and in this top 5 I'm counting down the best uses for Microsoft HoloLens so far as I can tell. Starting off at number 5, let's just get this out of the way. Holoporn. I can't be the only one thinking this, and if we're being honest, I'm only putting this at number 5 to keep things relatively classy. At number 4, design. The Microsoft demo video featured all manner of design professionals and engineers using HoloLens to create, manipulate, and visualize 3D renderings of objects and virtual vehicles. This totally makes sense. I mean, what designer wouldn't love to see their 3D designs pop off the computer screen and into the real world? You'll feel like a god. Coming in at number 3, instruction. There's another theme here that kept popping up from Microsoft. You could have the instructions for fixing or assembling something laid out right in front of you. Doctors could learn surgery on virtual bodies. It could give you an edge in golf or chess or poker or twister or thumb wrestling or beer pong, ice curling, knife throwing. It could even help you through that awkward first encounter with your virtual partner. At number 2, making your home smarter. Forget about internet-connected thermostats. With one upgrade, you can turn every surface in your home into a display. You can get your email on your refrigerator, you can check the weather on your toaster, eat cereal on a table made out of animated GIFs. It's like your own personalized acid trip. And that brings us to my vote for the #1 use for the Microsoft HoloLens: gaming. After all, this is from the same team that came up with the Microsoft Kinect. Also, that moment in the demo video where the guy's living room is transformed into a Minecraft world. How cool is that? The future is going to be pretty weird. So there you go, 5 of the best potential uses for Microsoft's HoloLens augmented reality goggles.
What's that? What does it do? Well, think of it as an improved Google Glass. Actually, think of it as a merge between the Google Glass and the Oculus Rift. So as you probably know, Google Glass adds a heads-on display over what you can, what you already see. And with that, you can see your Google notifications, you get traffic, weather, and news updates. You can also send text messages, take photos, videos, and send them to your friends, and all that kind of stuff. With the Oculus Rift, however, instead of just getting a heads-on display over what you already see, you are fully immersed into a 3D world, which is essentially a video game. But keep in mind that the real world is 100% hidden. And in order for you to control your environment, which is basically your game, you have to use either a controller or a mouse and a keyboard. Microsoft's HoloLens, on the other hand, is designed for both video games and real-life situations. So unlike the previous two, HoloLens still lets you see the real world, while adding not just a heads-on display like Google Glass does, but real 3D objects, which you can then manipulate, and this thing is called augmented reality. So just like those smartphone apps you're already familiar with, 3D objects are added onto the scene, and they can be anything from a virtual painting to a wide variety of virtual 3D objects. The HoloLens is completely aware of all the objects you have in your room. That's because the HoloLens does all the 3D mapping in real time. So it automatically converts any objects, any real objects it sees through the video camera, into 3D objects, and it does all of this in real time, which is really, really, really impressive. Actually, this is the only portable device in the world which can do this. 3D mapping in real time. That's one of a kind. So in order to achieve this, besides the CPU and the GPU, Microsoft came up with a completely new processing unit, which they call HPU, or holographic processing unit. And the HPU is the one responsible for all the holographic mapping. It knows where you're looking, it recognizes your voice, and according to Microsoft, it processes terabytes of information from all of its sensors, all in real time. Seriously. How it does this in real time? I have no idea. Microsoft might have stumbled across, I know, some alien artifacts, some alien technology, some alien CPU. Yeah, quite unbelievable. I mean, even doing this on today's computer, mapping a scene into 3D in real time, would require a lot of processing power. Imagine doing that on a pair of glasses. That's honestly, that's unbelievable. And if you take a look at this video, you can see how the character jumps from the couch onto the floor without any hiccups. So long story short, it actually seems to work extremely well. And now, since you've mapped the real world scene into a 3D polygonal scene, you can now interact with the virtual objects. So this is where it gets really interesting. So let's say that you're designing a bike, you design it on your computer, and with the HoloLens you can see the 3D model of that bike right in front of your eyes. And if you decide that, I know, the fuel tank, for example, needs some improvements, you can do that. You can change the size of the fuel tank on the real bike in the real world as an overlay. This is true science fiction stuff that we've all seen, only in the movies. This is really impressive. You can have a Skype conversation with someone and see that someone floating in the air as you walk. You can resize the window with just your finger. You can basically move it anywhere you want. And yes, for those Minecraft lovers out there, you'll be able to play it right on your living room desk. And from what I've seen in their demos, it actually seems to work, like, extremely well. This is because the HoloLens knows where you're looking, it recognizes touches and pans so you can interact with the objects. You even get surround sound, and it does all of this without the need to be connected to a computer, or even a smartphone for that matter. So there are no cables involved, which means that HoloLens is 100% independent. Here's what I believe to be the coolest thing you can do with this. So let's say that your, kitchen sink broke and you have no idea how to fix it. So you have a Skype call with your friend who knows how to fix it, and not only can he see what you can see, but he can actually draw on your real world, giving you the best possible tutorial on how to fix that broken sink. This is truly incredible, it opens up a new world of possibilities. Now Microsoft says that it will release the HoloLens alongside Windows 10, which by the way is coming by the end of 2015. So expect a 2016, early 2016 release, I'm guessing, for the HoloLens.
Look around. Technology is all around us. We use it in every aspect of our lives. It enables us to do amazing things. But what if we could go further? What if we could go beyond the screen? Where your digital world is blended with your real world. Now we can. This is the world with holograms. What will they enable us to do? New ways to visualize our work.
I have an idea for the fuel tank.
New ways to share ideas with each other.
How are things going your end?
I just put the images in OneDrive.
Perfect.
More immersive ways to play. New ways to teach and learn.
So put the new trap in the place of the old one.
Now what?
And tighten here and here.
New ways to collaborate and explore the places we've never been.
Look at this formation. Let's take a closer look.
And new ways to create the things we imagine. Because when you change the way you see the world, you can change the world you see. This is Microsoft HoloLens.